You're listening to BetQL Daily, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook, with Joe Ostrowski, Joe Giglio, and Aaron Hawksworth from BetQL.
Welcome back. BetQL Daily, presented as always by FanDuel Sportsbook. Joe O, Joe G, Aaron Hawksworth here with you on a Thursday morning. NFL Week 9 starts tonight. We dove into the Colts and the Jets. We'll give full picks later on. I'm sure we'll have a same-game parlay for this one tonight with Mike White, Carson Wentz. We'll get back to NFL Week 9 in a little bit. Some great guests coming up as this show goes along. Right now, though, we're going to touch on some NBA, and we're going to have Aaron Hawksworth take us off the board here.
It's time for Aaron Hawksworth to take us off the board on BetQL Daily, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook.
So Charles Barkley is rather concerned about Zion Williamson's weight down in New Orleans. Even when he was drafted to that team, a lot of people were saying, ooh, he better be careful. It's going to be tempting. Well, he came to camp, pretty chubby. I guess that's the only way you can say it. You could notice it right away. It's not that he gained a little weight. It looks like he gained a lot. So Charles Barkley on TNT, he's pretty concerned about it and said that Zion looks like Chuck and Shaq had a baby.
So this is Zion warming up. We don't have him. It could be another 2-3 weeks. But Chuck, you had a visceral reaction to this.
It looked like me and Shaq had a baby. That's what they gonna do, man. Dang, this dude, he eat good in New Orleans.
So good, right? Charles Barkley's the best.
Oh,
I love him.
So
has anyone asked Zion about this yet?
See, but it's also what everybody's been saying. Anybody paying attention to the NBA about Zion's weight, and you see like on social media some of the pictures. This is before he got to New Orleans, when he was drafted out of Duke, and this is a couple years after some injuries, after sitting around a little bit. Pandemic probably had something to do with it, but I'm sure people are like, "Hey, Charles, you're not the fleet of foot." But listen, Charles is not an athlete anymore. He's a commentator. It's not his job. Like, it's part of Zion's job, and it was something that was brought up time and time again before the draft pick. What would hold him back? And it would just be maybe Zion getting out of shape. And this has happened. I mean, the pandemic got the most of all of us. I don't know if that's the excuse that we're giving him. But yeah, it's not looking great right now. Maybe he's trying to eat his way out like Harden did with Houston, right?
Well, if you're going to do it, New Orleans is a town to do it in. The beignets might be the problem there. Listen, he looks like Robert Tractor Trailer out there. Like, he's got to fix this. I mean, like, he's not going to last in the NBA if he's this big. He's just, I think it's like a double-edged thing, right? Like, he puts on weight. He was big at Duke. He's not a guy that's ever been in tremendous shape, and then he doesn't get to play because his foot is hurting or his knee is hurting or whatever. He's got issues, right? So that he puts on weight when he's not playing. It's a problem. It is a major problem for that team that he can't stay in shape. And he does look like Shaq and Barkley had a baby. That's exactly what he looks like.
It's so perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I'm looking at a blog. The 15 fattest NBA players of all time. I don't see Robert Tractor Trailer on there, but that's
a bad
strong reference.
How about old Vin Baker? Is he on there? Remember when Vin Baker?
Do you consider Khalid El-Amin, even though he was so small, as being a fatter dude?
Yeah, he was pretty big. Yeah, I mean, look, Zion's got to get himself back together here because
he's Greg Ostertag.
That's how you know the athleticism of the NBA's changed in the last 2.5 decades. Greg Ostertag wouldn't even sniff the floor these days.
Right. Okay. Sean Kemp, of course. I mean, any player late in their career.
Right.
There's Robert Tractor Trailer. Good reference there. Michael Sweetney. Oh, I remember when the Bulls drafted.
He's like the 8th pick in the draft, wasn't he? Sweetney?
Terrible. Oh, man. Yeah. You're right, though. It's not just the beignets. The restaurants in New Orleans are just phenomenal. And then
good.
The drinking. I mean, come on. I mean, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, and imagine if you have like all that money to go out and eat and have all this fantastic food, it would be hard to be like, I'm just going to have egg whites tonight.
Right.
You think when his agent eventually requests a trade to Los Angeles, they're going to cite the healthier food options for Zion in his next city? We got to get him to a healthy town. Get him out of New Orleans. So this
has got to motivate him, though. I mean, when you get called out in that kind of way, it's got to be like, all right, it's time to push myself away from the table, put down the fork, invest in a chef who will help me control this, something. I mean, he's obviously got all the resources to get this under control.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. I think if any one of us someone said that we look like Shaq and Charles Barkley's baby, it probably would motivate us to get in better shape.
Sometimes you need that. Honestly, that's done it for me. Like, you know what? They're right. What the hell is going on? I completely let myself go. And I was like, it can be maybe a good thing. I don't think the players, most of them, even though there are a lot of sensitive athletes out there, which is surprising because they deal with so much criticism every single day.
Right.
But sometimes when guys like Charles, they grow up watching on TV, not as a player because these guys are so young, but they might take it to heart and be like, you know what? I can be better. And that's basically what Shaq and Charles and everybody is saying. You can be so much more. Don't waste this opportunity.
And I think coming from a couple of guys who also aren't on the smaller side, it's probably easier to take than someone who can't even relate. Mm-hmm. It's like, they know what it's like too, so I should probably, if they're now calling me out, then this is something I got to take a look at.
Yeah, I would hope he's not offended by it. So we'll see. Hopefully he gets back on the court. I mean, he's a tremendously talented young player. The NBA is better when he's on the court and doing his thing. All right, let's look ahead to tonight. We got we got 5 games tonight in the NBA. Sixers, Pistons. Sixers on the back-to-back. Pistons are terrible. Jazz, Hawks tonight. That's a 1-point number. Jazz only favored by 1 point in Atlanta against the Hawks. Celtics, Heat. That's probably the game I'm most interested in tonight. Rockets, Suns, Thunder, Lakers. LeBron had a big night last night. Thunder, obviously, are one of the worst teams in the league. That Celtics Heat game, I keep looking at the NBA Eastern Conference, and Joe, I'm sure you're kind of honed in on this too with the Bulls there in Chicago. It's just better. Like, the Eastern Conference is better than it's been in a while. I don't think we're getting any of those 38, 39 win teams at the bottom. The Heat lead the Eastern Conference right now 6-1. Sixers, Bulls 6-2. I mean, you look at the bottom, right? The bottom of the playoff race, and it's super early, but you have the Hornets at 5-4, the Bucks at 4-4. There's a real good chance that there's going to be good teams. It's almost like the West used to be, where there's some good teams that might miss the playoffs.
Have we seen enough from the Bulls to say that they're not even about one of the bottom teams anymore?
This episode is brought to you by AT&T Fiber. At home, we do everything on our devices, and we tell them basically everything, from our personal medical info to our bank passwords. That's why AT&T Fiber makes the protection of your personal data easier by including AT&T Internet Security with Active Armor. Active Armor helps stop threats before they get to you with 24/7 proactive security. That's advanced protection on every connected device, even over Wi-Fi. That means built-in internet security to help protect your personal data on smart devices throughout your home, not just smartphones and laptops. All of this is available with AT&T Fiber at no extra charge. It's time to get AT&T Fiber with Active Armor included. Limited availability in select areas. Visit att.com/getfiber to see if you qualify. AT&T Fiber subscribers only. Guards against known threats only. Compatible gateway and smart home manager app required. Security features must be enabled. Protects devices connected via Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Other restrictions apply. See details at att.com/activearmor.
That they're going to be 4 or 5 range, so we're in there.
I think the middle. Yeah, I think the middle is at least what they look like right now.
As you were talking about that, I was thinking, is the Eastern Conference in the NBA similar to the NFC in the NFL? How we felt going in, and then we start to see some action a little bit, and so much better than we thought. And the Miami Heat were that buzzy team in the offseason. They made the moves. People bet those futures numbers down, and right now they have the best ATS record in the NBA at 6-1 ATS. Doing a great job covering. You mentioned 7-point favorites. So the off-the-court stuff for Boston. I mean, we saw the Woj report last night. Like, how serious is this? The going on between Smart and some of the other players on the team. Like when Woj is willing to go something on TV like he did last night. Like that means there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and Woj doesn't know every little morsel.
Yeah.
I have some breaking news for you.
Yeah.
Zion?
The NBA wants its own Manning cast. The league is expected to announce an alternate telecast co-starring Jamal Crawford and Quentin Richardson. I don't love the talent on it. I think they could have maybe done a little bit better, but I think it would be fun to have an alternate broadcast with a couple of former players on there. I'm not sure I would vote for those two, though.
Not big enough names.
No, not big enough names. I like both guys. Jamal Crawford is very good. Spent a lot of time in Chicago. He's really good with the media. Quentin Richardson, covered him when he was in DePaul. Actually had a good team for a couple of years. Yeah, they're great talkers, but I don't know. It's a big draw. So you're not getting you can't get Barkley and Shaq for obvious reasons for TNT for the deal there. But if you're going to do this, you have to get.
You got to go Paul Pierce.
Well, you've got to get like the big name.
We're gonna let Paul on TV again after what happened last year.
I know. I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
So where do? No, but that's interesting because I think maybe you want a more recent name. You want players that have played in this era. You know who I'd want? I want Perk. Perk would definitely be one of them.
Oh, Perk would be. You know who I want with Perk? Kevin Garnett, and you just say, you know what, kids can't watch. Because, I mean, there's no way Kevin Garnett can't curse for 5 seconds. But they would be great. Like, they would talk trash on the players playing. They would talk about how soft those guys are. Like, that, I would watch that. Yeah, that would be a lot. Perk, I think Perk is the best. And he's becoming, like, the rising star of NBA media. Like, I want to hear Kendrick Perkins' take on whatever the heck's going on in the NBA. Because you know what? He doesn't care. He says whatever is on his mind. It's great.
Sometimes there are star players that are terrible at it, like Irvin and Isaiah.
No, Isaiah was brutal. It hurt. It hurt to watch him. Joe O, Joe G, Aaron Hawksworth, NFL next. We'll line him up for Week 9 right here on BetQL Daily, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook.
This week marks the halfway point of the NFL season, and there is a big Sunday afternoon matchup between Green Bay and Kansas City. FanDuel Sportsbook is about to make it even bigger because FanDuel is giving new customers 30-1 odds on either team to win. That means you can win $150 on a $5 bet. I like the home team in this matchup, and I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Let's go with the over on the total. Offers like this are just one of the many reasons I love betting the NFL on FanDuel. It is the #1 rated sportsbook app in America. It's easy to use, safe and secure, and has fast payouts when you win. FanDuel is sports betting made simple, and they're always hooking you up with great offers. Plus, when you win, you get paid in as little as 2 hours. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sports. We just sign up with promo code BETQL this week before Green Bay takes on Kansas City. You could win $150 on a $5 bet. Remember to use promo code BETQL so they know I sent you.
21 and over. Present in Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, or West Virginia. Minimum bet $25. Max bonus $35. Visit online real money wager for risk-free bet. Refund and bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help in Michigan. 1-800-GAMBLER in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Virginia. Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789 in Tennessee. Or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia.
Hey, what's up? It's Ken Barkley from You Better You Bet on from 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Watch and listen to the BetQL Network, download the free Odyssey app, and search BetQL. Your home for wagertainment is the BetQL Network.